Welcome back. Politics, they say, is a game, and you can only win if you know how to play the game. It is 9 days to the presidential and national assembly elections, and parties are moving their campaigns from one stage to another, sending out their messages to the public. However, during the last week, there was a report of the Kano state government closing down the stadiums in the state for renovations. Few days to the Kano rally of the main opposition party, People's Democratic Party. Now, this move by the state government has been seen in some quarters as politics of bitterness. So this morning we are looking at the topic, politics of bitterness, even as we get closer to the election. And joining us in the studio is none other than Omoshola Deji, who is a political analyst. Welcome to NewsHub.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Okay, we got a feel out this morning, or rather last night, that the state governor had reversed that decision. So let's put that in context. But it's important that let's look at the history of politics of bitterness in Nigeria. It didn't start today, though a very worrying trend. Would you want to take us through history of how it all started? I read through a few materials early this morning. We looked at a few constitutions, the Clifford Constitution of 1922, the Richard Constitution of 1942, and even the Constitution of 1960, which they say encouraged regional parties as against party of unity. Where did all of this disconnect started from?
Well, pre-colonial era, there wasn't much politics of bitterness. The nationalists were united because they have a common goal. They were like fighting a common enemy, which is to gain independence from Britain. But after Nigeria gained independence from Britain, it became very clear that each elite from each region has their own agenda. So the root of ethnic bitterness was sown in the cube that occurred in the 1960s. Okay. Now, during the Shagari era, the democratic experiment, there was no much politics of bitterness. Fast forward to 1993, there was still no much politics of bitterness because we have candidates from the same religion, and Nigeria across all walks of life voted for them en masse in the person of late Chief MKO Abiola. Now, the politics of bitterness was still managed considerably in 1999. But in 2003, whereby our political consciousness began to rise dramatically, the politics of bitterness begin to set in based on the premium that we place on political offices. We live in a society whereby power can do a lot for you. We live in a society whereby there is no equal. There's a sharp contrast between the ruler and the ruled. So everybody wants to be among the ruling class. Now, the politics of bitterness, as we have it today, it's at its peak because everybody believes that they want to have a taste of power. And the best way to get there, they believe, is to decimate the political opponent. And because they are trying to decimate one another, they lose track on the most important things, which is the issues, how to move the nation forward. We see candidates coming up with manifesto, but the manifesto is basically answering the what question. The what question is, okay, saying, okay, if I get there, I'm going to do this. It doesn't focus on the how. And citizens are relaxed when it comes to asking the how question. The how question brings a more detailed approach of how you're going to achieve that. Then what the citizens are doing itself promotes the politics of bitterness, because when you go online, you see the Nigerian citizens abusing themselves. You see them fighting each other for a candidate that, you know, care less about them. We have political candidates in almost all the parties that live a good life, that are well secured, that they have all the good things life can offer. Okay, and you see citizens that they don't even have anything, they can't afford 3 square meters, abusing each other, promoting hate speech and the politics of bitterness.
All right, Shola, thanks for your opening remarks. We have been joined now by Olusola Sanni from Abuja studio. Olusola Sanni is the media aide to His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. You're welcome to the program. Now, Atiku Abubakar is the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. As a last line, Olusola, the government of Kano State actually debunked the fact that it refused the use of the stadium to the People's Democratic Party. Now, I want you to bring us up to speed. Tell us what the experience was, and really if your party wasn't just carrying a mere rumor, or if really it was something the Kano State government really said or did.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning. The truth of the matter is that the ruling party, the ruling government is obviously very jittery about the processes and the gathering momentum behind the PDP campaign. And to that extent, it is very clear that they have not shown any inclination to play politics of fair play. And talking specifically to the issue of the Kano Stadium, the Sani Abacha Stadium in Kano State, we are scheduled to have a rally there in a matter of days from now. And the information that came out was that the state government announced that it was going to shut down the facility for some maintenance reasons. First of all, we believe that that stadium in question is a federal government facility. It does not belong to the state government. And even if the state government now comes to announce that it has suspended its renovation work, it still boils down to the fact that that was a preceding announcement to the contrary. So that much I can say for now.
Okay, well, very well said, Mr. Olusola Sanni. Now let's go back to the issue of politics that has been played with so much bitterness lately. We have seen statements and counter statements, blackmails and series of blackmails here and there among politicians. Does this trend disturb you?
Yeah, obviously. We are all Nigerians, and that Nigeria will always survive. Whether it is 2019 or 2023, Nigeria will always survive. And what we should bear in mind as political actors is that the welfare of the common man, the survival of the country is paramount. And to that extent, I believe that political actors should actually watch their actions, watch their utterances, and they must endeavor at all times to play politics of sportsmanship.
All right, we'll come back to you very shortly. Thanks for your opening remarks, Olusola Sanni. We'll come back to you very shortly. Let's speak some more with our analyst right here in Lagos. Now, this is just the latest, or perhaps the latest incident during this season of campaigning. Well, there are other plethora of instances to pick from, one has to do with Kwakwanto being denied the use of the Eagle Square to announce his presidential bid then. And Buhari's campaign also denied the use of Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo. Ekiti State government, a couple of weeks ago, also denied Atiku the use of the Oluyemi Kayode Stadium at Ado Ekiti. Now, this pattern seems to show the do me, I do you. If you do my party in this state, I do your party in that state. Do you think this is going to cause a kind of friction between the followers, especially of these political parties?
Well, it caused a lot of friction between the followers, and it sent a very wrong signal to the Nigerian populace itself. First, the political elite needs to know that the younger generations are watching them. If you try to deny your opponent is right, rather than campaigning on what you can do and the real issues at hand, the problem is with that is the younger generation are learning. So you might, at the end of the day, find a situation whereby a young boy is contesting for maybe class captain, and the boy, rather than speaking to his colleagues, you know, dialoguing with his colleagues, will just be attacking his fellow contestant. So that is a bad trend, and at the end of the day, it would bring a situation whereby people will win and they won't accept the result. That is also a bad signal to the populace itself. So I think we are not playing the politics the right way. We can do a lot more better, but that the politicians are not ready to change anyway. They are satisfied by our low criteria, low assessment, low selection criteria, and that's why you see candidates missing debates. You dare not try that in the advanced countries of the world, because that is one of the cheap way to reach out to the populace. So candidates would rather focus on how to buy votes, how to decimate the political opponent. During the Ekiti election, we saw a situation whereby a sitting governor ordered road transport workers to park their cars inside the government house, just to make sure that people are not able to transport the supporters of the opposition party in the state at that time, now the ruling party, to the campaign ground. So this is a recurring trend in our political system.
How disturbing?
Very disturbing. Very disturbing, because in Nigeria, we don't keep things little. When we allow things to grow, it grows to an alarming rate. Look at when Boko Haram started, look at where we are today. Kidnapping started just like a joke. Look at where we are today. Now we have the politics of bitterness, hate speech, vote buying. If we are not careful, look at where we are going to be by 2023, 2027.
All right. Thank you, Olusola. We've been joined now on phone by Salihu Yakasai. Salihu is a special advisor media to the governor of Kano State. Salihu, you're welcome to the program. Salihu, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. Good
morning. Okay, great. Good morning and welcome to the program. Now, the facilities belong to the peoples because it was built with public funds. I want you to also bring us up to speed and tell us if there was a communication gap between your party and the opposition party who planned to use one of the stadiums in Kano State. Can you explain to us what really happened?
Well, what happened was that they initially requested for the Kano State, the Sani Abacha Stadium through the Sports Commission. The Sports Commission is the custodian of the venue that they wanted to use, the Sani Abacha Stadium. So when they initially requested to use it, I think on the first day they wanted to hold the rally. That was in January. It was approved. That was before the coming of the president. After that, they cancelled that day and then pushed it to February 2nd, I think. That was after the president has done his own rally. The renovation was obviously slated for after everybody has done his own rally. That is both the APC candidate President Buhari and that of the PDP And the contractor was asked to mobilize the site after all that. And then they shifted again their rally to the 10th of February, which is this coming Saturday. So it was after that that the governor realized, the state government realized that the day of the renovation has clashed with their new date. And I can guarantee you that as of today, they have been given the go-ahead to use the venue for their own rally, and the contractor has been demobilized to give them opportunity to hold their rally. As a Democrat, governor believes that everybody is free to hold rallies and what have you, and that is why the state government has taken this decision.
Okay, sorry. Let's look at it this way. Didn't your government consider the signal that this decision would have on the opposition party, or the signal it would be sending to the opposition party and to the Nigerian populace?
Well, I think the state PDP is being economical with the truth, because if the state government had allowed them to use the venue the first time they requested for it, then why will it deny them then afterwards? So I think they're not being very economical with the truth, and they're not telling the people the right. They're not passing the right information to the people. There's no reason to stop anybody from holding the rally. After all, it's not the rally that would determine the outcome of the election. Everybody is free to hold his rally. At the end of the day, the voters are free to vote for who they want. So there's no cause for alarm. They've been holding their rallies in the state, all over the state, and nobody was complaining. Nobody is stopping them from carrying their activities. So why should this one be different? You know.
You said that the opposition is being economical with the truth, but don't you think that your party also has a share of the blame in terms of the fact that the situation has created rumors saying that you were trying to deprive the other party from having access to a public facility?
But like I said, nobody has denied them. You know, the renovation. If you know, unfortunately, most people don't know the status of this stadium. You know, it's in a very terrible state. It's our main stadium where the Kano Pillars hold their games, and of course after these political rallies, they even tend to be more damages in this stadium. So there's need, and the last time this renovation took place was years. So there's need for this facility to be upgraded so that matches can continue to take place in this location. So we are not being economical. Like I said, if the state government allowed them to use it the first day, the first time they applied for, why should we change it and say that? So I don't think there's any cause for alarm. Let them come and hold their rally and go.
Okay, before we go to our next question, let me just ask you this. Between the period where there was a rumor of a denial and now that there's a reversal of that denial, what changed?
Like I said earlier on, what changed is that initially when the renovation was slated for after both parties have done their rallies, then PDP came and changed the date 3 times. They changed their dates for the rallies 3 times. So that affected the schedule of the renovation of the stadium. And even as I speak to you now, if I can send you a reporter to the stadium, because we have the main stadium where the football games and other track fields events take place, and then we have the indoor stadium where the basketball and other indoor sports take place. Currently, that indoor hall is being renovated. You can go and check. So there's no ulterior motive to it. You know, they are the ones that keep changing their dates and all that, and that is what affected the day, the time schedule of the renovation. So there's no cause for alarm as far as the state government is concerned.
All right, like I said earlier, Kwakwanso was denied the use of the Eagle Square to announce his presidential bid. And we also know that he couldn't hold his rally at the venue because, according to what reports have it, that would have disrupted economic activities and caused heavy traffic in the area. Now, talk to us about the rivalry between your party and the Kwakwanso faction.
Please, can you come again? I didn't get the last part.
There's a rivalry between Ganduje and Kwakwanso, and Kwakwanso was denied the use of Eagle Square. One of the reasons, or some of the reasons quoted, was that it was going to cause some traffic gridlock and it would disrupt some economic activities. Can you tell us why this rivalry, and do you know how much it's affecting the people of Kano State?
Well, I can guarantee you that. Well, first of all, the governor has no hand in the decision by the Federal Capital Territory to deny Kwankwaso the use of Eagle Square. That's totally the FCT's decision and affair. Secondly, in Kano, I can tell you that Dr. Abubakar Ganduje is the governor. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso is the former governor. So currently, as we are speaking, the state affairs and the steering of the state is in the hands of His Excellency Dr. Abubakar Ganduje. So if there's any rivalry, is political, is not that of leadership. And His Excellency Dr. Abubakar Ganduje has consolidated, has continued to provide the good services the state needs, the promises that he has made during his campaign. So I can guarantee you that, and I also want to add that Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso is not on the ballot. He is not in any ballot. He's not contesting for governor again. He's not contesting for senator again. So I don't see why he is so much keen on the activities of the politics in the state. Let him allow his candidate to campaign freely. Let him allow the party, the PDP in the state, to go head to head with the APC. Abdullah Umar Ganduje as the candidate of the APC. So as far as we are concerned, we are not worried, we are not disturbed, and God willing, APC is going to deliver Kano State in the forthcoming election, inshallah.
Quickly before I let you go, our conversation today borders around politics without bitterness. Now, this rivalry, or if you say perceived rivalry between the former governor and the current governor of Kano State, no doubt comes with negative implications on the polity. We have seen tension rising in Kano. We've heard of issues of unrest in certain areas of Kano. How can we go beyond this politics of bitterness in Kano State? Let's situate it there.
What we have in Kano is not how do I put it? Is not the ugly side of the political rivalry, where you have a lack of development because of the rivalry between the two camps. What we have is a healthy competition in Kano State. The rivalry has been on a positive note to the people of Kano State because it has accelerated development. The governor, Dr. Abdullah Ganduje, every day is working hard to see that he has supersede whatever Kwankwaso did as a governor. That has propelled development in Kano State. There is no state let me just even curtail it to the northern part of Nigeria. There's no governor that has done so many projects, completed projects, initiated by him and completed projects by other administrations, as way back as 10 years ago, 15 years ago, projects that were abandoned, like the two hospitals, Muhammad Buhari Specialist Hospital and Gihinyu, that were abandoned over 10 years ago. He has completed them. They are one of the best facilities we have in northern Nigeria. So the rivalry is a healthy one, is a positive one in terms of the development that it has brought to Kano State. And this is what we want. We want to encourage political rivalry that will be able to add to what the development of any state is. Not one that you see fighting and killing and maiming of opponents and things like that. It's not like that, and we hope and continue that it's not going to be like that. I can guarantee you that the rivalry has resulted in more development for Kano State. It's a healthy one, and there's no cause for alarm. As soon as His Excellency Dr. Abraham Ganduje clinches his second term, there won't even be any need for rivalry, because he will consolidate politically as he has done in governance.
Right, the political rivalry is a healthy one in Kano State. Thank you so much, Salihu Jakasai, a special advisor media to the governor of Kano State. Thank you so much for your time with us on the program.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
All right. We would have time for Olusola Sanni to react to this, but first we'll take a break, and when we come back, our conversations will continue. Please stay with us.